How much more ammo do the shorts have to shoot at GME? End of this week is OPEX. My assumption has been that they would try to short us down or use whatever firepower they could to draw us down. And what I find interesting about all of this is that you did see GME track the SPY today being Monday, but it's starting to break in the sense that I guess it's not like maybe at negative beta yet, but it seems to be creeping up, in that direction. And again, market mechanics is not my thing. But
Yeah, I would actually disagree with you there, because since we were pretty elevated last week, that's going to lead to quite a bit of hedging going into today, Monday. That is, I think, was leading into a reason why we were so relatively strong. I'm not really concerned. I was expecting kind of a moderate level going into Monday and Tuesday, but I think we could really start to see some pain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today, also the NFT marketplace opened up. That led to some strength as well. I think there's a lot of FOMO building just because GME continuously opens up a lot of news these past 2 weeks, which I think is interesting in itself, as if they are trying to signify that they want a lot of FOMO going into OPEX, which is even more bullish, and then everything that's happening after. So I don't know if this is all intentional, but I think there's a lot of eyes on GME right now as it is. So I don't think the price action is too wary, as you're kind of signifying.
Yeah, I mean, like, you did see volatility today, and I guess really the question I would ask is, like, how many more bullets do these people have left to shoot at the problem? And don't get me wrong, I'm certain that they have more to shoot. Yeah, and the other thing too is that perhaps they might have some very destructive weapons that they can shoot, but like if they were to use that, like the what do they say? It's like the cure would shame the disease. In other words, the cost of using the tools would basically Samson option.
By that kind of like freezing the stock off the exchanges, kind of like what they did, like those massive bullets that have a lot of collateral damage. Those things I think could come toward the later half, but I'm not too sure. It seems like we're kind of in a really good spot going into next week. This week, I'm really planning on accumulating quite a bit of calls on both GME and BBBY.
Yeah, like I said, I closed out half of my put position today, and I probably will close out the other half tomorrow. I don't want to. I want to pull that back, definitely by Wednesday, and see where that takes us. But beyond that, like I said, just very curious to see what's going on. And as points of confirmation that I would say that I use for myself, and this is just kind of my gut talking right here, but I find it very interesting that the OCC felt it necessary to release a memo. Now, granted, they might have released the memo just because of all the interest that's on it. So, okay, I will concede that point. Yes, that theoretically makes sense, but nonetheless, I find that to be particularly interesting. I find it to be particularly interesting that, like, the worst, or I should say the worst day, GMA announcing the date of the dividend on the effective date on the 18th. Right in the middle of OPEX. Again, I don't see that as being an
and then just being just as interesting, them dropping the NFT marketplace today, which drives even more FOMO. It just seems like everything's signifying that next week could be pretty massive. Not saying it will be, but it is also at an OPEX when there's a lot of coveraging and those pushed off obligations from last quarter kind of coming due. It seems really spicy going into it. So I'm extremely excited going into next week. Plan on positioning very, very heavily, a lot like the last time when I did get fried, but I've built up capital through jobs, and then going to redeploy going into probably Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Gotcha.
I would like to maybe buy something Monday too, depending on what price action is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can always chase whatever. But yeah, just a quick update on GME, where we're at, what we see.